my name's Caliber, and the Modern Warfare 2 beta is over. It's been over since September 26th, which means the next time we'll be able to play Modern Warfare 2 is October 20th, when the campaign early access comes out. But that's just for people who pre-ordered. If you didn't pre-order, you'll have to wait another week for the full game to release. Which until then, that just means you'll have to go to some other COD to fuel your Call of Duty addiction. But with that aside, I personally think that Modern Warfare 2 is going to be a pretty good Call of Duty from what I've experienced. I think it's going to be better than Modern Warfare 2019. I think it's going to be better than Black Ops Cold War, and it's definitely going to be better than Vanguard, but it's not like that's a super hard thing to accomplish. But with that being said, that doesn't mean that there weren't a few hiccups with the game's design that in my opinion weren't done too well. And of course there's the obvious stuff, but in this video I'm going to go over a lot of the little stuff that I think some people might have looked over. Or just a mix of both. I don't really know what this video is. First thing I want to talk about is the glitchy gun cases. If you didn't know, when you go to the create a class menu in the lobby, your guns are shown inside a gun case, which is cool and all, except it never works like it's supposed to. There's only a few times that I can remember where my guns were shown properly inside the gun case. Otherwise, they're either clipping inside the gun case or the gun case is just broken and you just don't see it. I know it's just a visual glitch, so it has no effect on gameplay or anything, but it's just really annoying how you can't see what your guns look like unless you go into Gunsmith. Next thing I want to talk about are the glitchy in-game menus. I don't know why. I don't know if this is an issue with VSync, if this is an issue with some other graphics setting, but whenever I would open up a menu within a match, the menu itself would start flickering. Now, I shouldn't be punished with a seizure for trying to change my class halfway through a match. You know, it hurts my eyes, it gives me a headache. Like, this is just a visual glitch, but it's one of the visual glitches that I think affect gameplay most. Moving on, third thing I want to talk about is slide canceling. Now, you may be thinking that slide canceling was removed. Well, they tried to, but there's still a whole bunch of exploits that people have been using to slide cancel. I'm kind of guilty of using some of these exploits myself. The one I was using the melee button to cancel the slide, and that way you can bring up your gun quicker. I've seen other ones where it uses ADS and weapon swapping to cancel the slide animation. But yeah, as far as I'm concerned, slide canceling is still in the game. It's just that now you have to do an exploit in order to access it, and hopefully these exploits can be patched by the time the full game is released. Next thing I want to talk about is the friendsless UI. Now, the UI in general in this game is pretty terrible. I don't think I hated it as much as other people hated it, but the friendsless UI in particular is really bad. Once you open your friends list, instead of being shown your friends, you're shown the friends list hub, which just shows a bunch of recent players mixed in with friends, except it doesn't tell you which ones are friends and which ones are recent players, and it only lets you see 3 at a time. The whole UI is super zoomed in, and for some reason every UI within the friends list menu looks different. I don't know why they did this, but it's just whack. That is the best way to put it. It's just whack. Next thing I want to talk about is the dumbass AI. This doesn't really affect the whole game. It's really just one game mode, and that one game mode's Invasion. Invasion was pretty good, but the AI and bots that they hyped up were so stupid. I don't understand how you make AI this awful as a AAA developer. Now, Invasion's still fun, but it's kind of annoying how much they hyped up their AI, their bots. If they just threw in some AI without really talking about it, that would have been fine. There's nothing wrong with like stupid AI within the context of the Invasion mode. But I swear, on the Call of Duty Next event, there were like several segments dedicated to talking about how their new bots will be indistinguishable from actual people. Next thing I want to talk about are the loud ass footsteps. You know, audio cues in any game are always a good thing. It's really nice when developers take advantage of different ways to give information to the player, but the footsteps in this game are just way too loud. A lot of the time, I would find myself relying on footsteps to find where someone is instead of using my UAV or any other equipment that would give me some red dots on the minimap. And Dead Silence not being a perk anymore really does not help with this, especially with how much they nerfed Dead Silence in Modern Warfare 2. You know, if they wanted a field upgrade that made you run faster, just turn that into the Battle Rage. Make the new Battle Rage field upgrade, make you run faster, and then maybe nerf all of the other aspects of it just a bit. And no, I really do not think that they will make Dead Silence a perk. If they were, they would have just taken the feedback that they got from the past couple of games that used Dead Silence as a field upgrade. But something that they could fix are the footsteps. They're just really loud, very unnecessarily loud. The seventh and final thing that I want to talk about in today's video is enemy visibility. Now, when you're just looking at an enemy, it's pretty easy to see them, but once you aim down sights and start shooting, a lot of that gas and fire coming out of the end of that barrel kind of fogs up the screen a lot, and then it becomes pretty hard to see enemy players and really just whatever you're shooting at in general. Now, despite never seeing them, or at least rarely ever seeing them, there are actually name tags that are supposed to come up above enemy players. I don't know if it's just buggy or if the name tags just kind of work kind of weird, but the name tags never show up. I can't remember seeing them at all while I was playing during the beta. There were some suggestions to fix this that some people put out, like putting glowing dots on the enemy's uniforms like they did in Black Ops 4, or instead of having an enemy indicator, just somehow making enemies pop out of the background a lot more, maybe through increasing the contrast or brightness. I personally think that doing the last option, just increasing the visibility, would probably be best. My main issue with having name tags or dots above enemy heads is that you aren't looking for an enemy, you're looking for a name tag. You shouldn't be turning a corner and looking for a name tag to shoot at. You should be looking for an enemy to shoot at. So yeah, visibility in MW2 is pretty bad. This is something they could fix pretty easily by just like putting on an enemy indicator or just increasing the brightness. But with that being said, I think I'm going to leave the video here. There were some other things that would have been good to talk about, like the SBMM, the situation with the minimap, or disbanding lobbies. But those are all things that we've heard like a million times before. Everyone has talked about them. You've probably all heard like 100 different people rant on about all those issues, and I'm just sure no one wanted to hear me do that. So I just talked about the stuff specific to Modern Warfare 2. So with that, I think I've exhausted all my thoughts on these topics. As always, Twitch link in the description, subscribing's free, and bye.